Goodbye proteinuria. 3 drinks seniors must have, and 4 you should never touch. That morning glass of orange juice, you drink it for the vital dose of vitamin C. You diligently drink your 8 glasses of water, confident you're helping your kidneys flush out toxins. You even switch to diet soda, thinking you've cleverly outsmarted sugar. But the latest science reveals a surprising pattern showing how some of these most trusted daily drinks can actually be silent saboteurs working against your kidneys and triggering proteinuria behind the scenes. So how can these trusted habits be the problem? Before we reveal the answers, we have to ask, out of all the things you drink each day, which one do you secretly suspect might be working against your kidneys? Let us know in the comments below. We're reading every single one. In this video, we're going to unmask 4 of these hidden culprits, and then we'll arm you with the 3 hero drinks to fight back. And you will want to watch until the very end, because the #1 hero we'll share isn't just the most effective, it's also one that's likely sitting in your kitchen right now. Just so you know, everything in this video is grounded in peer-reviewed research, completely free from marketing bias or miracle cure claims. We've sifted through the science so you can make smart, informed decisions about your health. 4 worst drinks to avoid for kidneys. 4. Energy drinks. Kicking off our list of culprits at number 4, the energy drink. And the primary threat is a sudden severe condition called acute kidney injury, or AKI for short. In fact, a major systematic review identified AKI as the most common kidney-related outcome of consuming energy drinks, accounting for 4 out of every 7 reported cases. The question is why? It's not one single ingredient, but a dangerous synergy, a perfect storm inside the body. It starts with a flood of sugar that overwhelms the system. These drinks contain 40 to 55 grams of sugar per standard can, with some extreme versions packing up to 78 grams. That's equivalent to 20 teaspoons of pure sugar. The American Heart Association recommends adults consume no more than 25 to 36 grams, about 6 to 9 teaspoons of added sugar per day. A single energy drink can deliver more than triple that recommended amount. Also, a typical drink contains between 160 to 300 milligrams of caffeine per 16-ounce serving, with some extreme brands reaching up to 350 milligrams. To put that in perspective, health experts recommend no more than 300 to 400 milligrams of caffeine per day total. That means just one can deliver nearly your entire daily caffeine allowance. And here's the critical insight. This isn't simply a mathematical addition. Caffeine plus sugar plus taurine equals trouble. This is exponential damage. The massive caffeine dose creates a harsh jolt that spikes blood pressure and strains your cardiovascular system. Simultaneously, the sugar tsunami overwhelms your kidney's filtration capacity, potentially leading to proteinuria as your kidneys struggle to cope. When these ingredients combine with other stimulants like taurine, they create a synergistic assault that's far more dangerous than the sum of its individual parts. And the entire formula is delivered as an ultra-processed food, a category that the highest level of scientific evidence, a meta-analysis, now links to a significantly higher risk of chronic kidney disease. Moreover, energy drinks often pack in phosphorus and sodium additives, which can put extra strain on your kidneys when it comes to processing these minerals. One 2025 case report documented a 20-year-old man who thought he was simply boosting his energy, but suffered acute kidney injury after drinking 6 cans a day for just 1 week. That's a threshold far lower than many people might think. Our advice is therefore unequivocal. The only safe amount is none. And for those considering the sugar-free option, understand that you might dodge the sugar tsunami, but you can't escape the caffeine storm. So, what are the safer alternatives? If you need an energy boost, try green tea for a gentler caffeine lift without the sugar crashes. A handful of nuts provides sustained energy through healthy fats and protein. For that afternoon slump, a 5-minute walk or some deep breathing exercises can provide natural energy without any risk to your kidneys. 3. Alcoholic drinks. Is alcohol a friend or a foe to your kidneys? The scientific answer is surprisingly complex, and it revolves around something called the J-curve. A massive 2023 study combined results from 11 separate studies involving over 14.6 million people. The findings confirm this puzzling J-shaped pattern. Light drinking of 12 grams per day or less was associated with a 13% lower risk of protein in the urine compared to non-drinkers. But as consumption climbed to heavy drinking levels of 36 to 60 grams per day, the risk flipped, increasing by 9% compared to those who abstained completely. So at the lowest doses, there appears to be some protective effect against proteinuria. However, even the researchers who conducted this massive analysis emphasize a critical point. These results are counterintuitive and need much more study before anyone should consider them as health recommendations. The relationship between alcohol and kidney health is far too complex and uncertain to suggest that people start drinking for kidney protection. The protective window is so narrow, and the risks of crossing into harmful territory are so significant that the safest approach remains clear moderation or avoidance entirely. Now, how does this seemingly protective substance turn into a villain? At higher doses, alcohol launches a two-pronged attack. First, it wages a war of attrition through dehydration. By increasing urine output, it reduces vital blood flow, forcing your kidneys to operate under stressful, low-fluid conditions. At the same time, it raises your blood pressure. This launches a direct assault on the delicate filters inside your kidneys, potentially triggering proteinuria. Adding to the complexity, a 2019 study on healthy young men revealed that alcohol can create a biphasic blood pressure effect, initially lowering it, then causing a rebound spike while keeping heart rate elevated throughout. This sustained increase in heart rate forces your kidneys to work harder as they must filter blood that's being pumped at an accelerated pace. So, what does this mean for your daily choices? If you choose to drink, understanding the numbers is crucial. 12 grams of alcohol equals roughly one standard drink, a 12-ounce beer, 5-ounce glass of wine, or 1.5-ounce serving of spirits. Staying within this narrow protective window means limiting yourself to one drink per day maximum, and importantly, not every day. The J-curve's protection appears to come from very moderate, occasional consumption. But here is the critical takeaway. For anyone with existing kidney concerns, high blood pressure, or taking medications, that protective part of the J-curve effectively disappears. Kidneys that are already working hard have lost their reserve capacity. They can't effectively manage the dehydrating effects or the spike in blood pressure that alcohol delivers. For them, the attack begins with the very first drink. And hey, if this feels helpful so far, let us know you're out there by tapping that like button. It tells us to keep making content just like this. 2. Dairy milk. This next culprit is perhaps the most difficult to talk about because for most of our lives, it's been seen as a pillar of good nutrition. Dairy milk is rich in calcium and packed with protein. But that's also where the problem starts. The animal protein in milk, about 8 grams per cup, can create acid loading that damages kidney cells and triggers hyperfiltration, forcing kidneys into chronic overdrive. This also increases blood flow to your kidneys and ramps up the pressure inside their tiny filtering units, potentially leading to proteinuria. Moreover, milk is too rich in the very minerals that compromised kidneys struggle to handle: phosphorus and potassium. For healthy kidneys, filtering these minerals is a routine task. But for kidneys already operating at reduced capacity, like in stage 3 to 5 CKD, and this is common in seniors, that same mineral load isn't routine. It's a constant pressure. The very nutrients that define milk strength become the source of this damaging overload. When these minerals accumulate in compromised kidneys, the consequences extend far beyond kidney function. Excess phosphorus in the bloodstream can disrupt bone metabolism and cause calcium to deposit in your arteries, essentially turning your blood vessels into hardened pipes and increasing risk of death from heart disease. Meanwhile, elevated potassium levels create an even more immediate threat: dangerous heart rhythm disturbances that can progress to cardiac arrest. This isn't opinion or theory. It's a core principle from the world's leading kidney experts, KDIGO, and the numbers show why. Take phosphorus. A single glass of 2% milk contains over 250 milligrams and 383 milligrams of potassium. And if you think switching to fat-free milk is the solution, think again. Skim milk actually contains even more potassium at 409 milligrams per glass. For someone on a kidney diet, that's a substantial portion of their daily mineral limits in just one glass. Remember, this extends beyond just milk itself. Dairy products like yogurt, ice cream, and pudding are equally loaded with phosphorus and potassium, often in even higher concentrations due to their processing and additives. If you do choose dairy, limit portions to half a cup and pair it with phosphorus binders if your doctor recommends them. 1. Sugar-sweetened beverages. When you hear sugary drinks, your mind probably jumps to soda. But the official definition of sugar-sweetened beverages is far broader. It's the sweetened iced tea, the fruit punch, the sports drinks, and yes, the energy drinks we just discussed. So what actually happens inside your body when you drink one? It begins with an immediate shock to your system. The sugar load, mainly fructose, triggers a blood sugar spike, placing your kidneys under filtration strain and increasing the risk of proteinuria. Worse still, the fructose metabolism generates uric acid, a known toxin to kidney cells. Physiological studies also show these drinks can constrict the kidney's blood vessels, reducing their blood supply. This cumulative assault has a surprisingly low tipping point. A 2024 UK Biobank study of nearly 200,000 people found that just one of these drinks per day heightens the risk of chronic kidney disease by 45%. But here's the shocking twist. Artificially sweetened beverages were even worse, raising CKD risk by 52%. This means that diet sodas and zero-calorie drinks aren't the safe harbor many people believe them to be, and may actually increase your risk of developing proteinuria. So, what's the practical way forward? Start with the simplest swap. Replace one sugary drink per day with water infused with lemon, cucumber, or mint for natural flavor without the risk. If you crave carbonation, choose plain sparkling water and add a splash of 100% fruit juice. Just a tablespoon gives flavor while keeping sugar minimal. For caffeine needs, unsweetened tea or black coffee are safer than energy drinks or sodas. And here's a game-changing tip. When you do drink something sweet, have it with a meal rather than alone. The food helps slow sugar absorption and reduces kidney shock. Curious about the science behind it all? We've linked the studies that support everything we've shared. You'll find them down in the description box. Listening to that list of hidden threats can be disheartening. But here's the good news. For every single threat we've identified, nature offers a powerful solution. For every challenge to your health, there is a hero ready to help. 3 drinks to reduce proteinuria. 3. Homemade lemonade. Lemon water. Behind this simple facade lies a highly effective biochemical agent. Its benefit has nothing to do with detoxing and everything to do with a single crucial compound that acts as a secret weapon against kidney stones: citrate. For those who already have protein in their urine, an early warning sign of kidney disease, preventing kidney stones becomes absolutely critical. When stones develop in kidneys that are already compromised, they can trigger acute damage on top of existing chronic disease, creating a dangerous double assault that can permanently worsen kidney function. Here's the elegant science. The most common kidney stones are formed when tiny calcium and oxalate particles pair up in the urine. Citrate is the great disruptor of this process. It binds with the calcium first, forming a new compound that stays harmlessly dissolved. By intercepting the calcium, it leaves the oxalate with no partner to bond with. Citrus-based drinks like lemonade also gently raise your urine's pH, making it more alkaline rather than acidic. This shift creates a less hospitable environment for certain types of kidney stones to form, particularly uric acid stones, which thrive in acidic conditions. Additionally, a more alkaline urine pH can help reduce the burden on your kidneys to buffer excess acid. And this isn't just a theory, it's a measurable biochemical fact. However, real-world results can be more nuanced. A 2021 clinical trial followed 203 patients with recurrent calcium oxalate stones for 2 years. One group added 120 milliliters of fresh lemon juice daily to their standard diet, while the control group followed the standard diet alone. The study showed mixed results on stone prevention, but confirmed that lemon water significantly improves citrate levels in those who need it most. A 2017 meta-analysis that reviewed multiple clinical trials confirmed it. Consuming citrus products like lemon leads to a significant and protective increase of citrate levels in the urine. It proves the disruptors are reporting for duty. And the best part is how simple it is to put this drink to work. The effective dose is simply the juice of half a lemon in a glass of water each day. But this is a critical distinction. This means homemade lemon water. Commercial lemonades are often just sugar delivery systems in disguise. They are not heroes, they are culprits. Fresh lemons also contain higher citrate levels. Drink through a straw to protect tooth enamel from citric acid and rinse your mouth with plain water afterward to neutralize acidity. 2. Green tea. Our next hero is a familiar staple, green tea. But to understand its true power for kidney health, we need to look beyond the tea leaf and focus on the potent compound it delivers, a powerful antioxidant called EGCG. This, according to a major meta-analysis, is the real hero of the story. EGCG operates with a two-step defensive strategy. First, it acts as a firefighting squad, neutralizing the embers of chronic inflammation that damage kidney tissue. Then, it rebuilds defenses. EGCG activates a master switch in your cells, reinforcing their antioxidant shield against future attacks. But does this cellular-level activity translate to real-world results? The most powerful evidence comes from Mendelian randomization research, which studies people born with genetic variants that naturally make them drink more tea. Since these genetic differences are inherited randomly and separate from lifestyle choices, researchers can isolate tea's actual effects on kidney health without the usual confounding factors like diet or exercise. The results were clear. Each additional cup of tea per day was linked to a nearly 20% lower risk of developing CKD stages 3 to 5, along with significantly better kidney function overall. Even more remarkably, higher tea consumption was associated with a 24% lower risk of proteinuria. Real-world data backs up these genetic insights. A 2025 analysis of over 17,000 people with kidney disease from the NHANES database found that those in early stages of CKD who drank up to 4 cups of tea daily had an 11% lower risk of death from any cause compared to non-tea drinkers. And if you're concerned about kidney stones, a 2019 study delivered striking results among women with calcium-rich urine who were prone to stones. Those who drank green tea daily had 0 cases of the most common type of kidney stone compared to 42% of non-tea drinkers. So the evidence is clear that green tea is a powerful ally in fighting proteinuria and protecting kidney function. But to truly equip your body's defenders, how you drink it matters. The first key is preparation. Food chemistry shows that boiling water can destroy the delicate EGCG compounds. To maximize their power, let the water cool slightly before you brew. You can re-sweep the same leaves 2 to 3 times throughout the day, getting fresh antioxidants with each brew while reducing waste. The second key is avoiding a common deception. Most bottled green teas are simply sugar-sweetened beverages in disguise, and the sugar load cancels out any potential benefit. 1. Black coffee. For years, coffee has been at the center of a heated health debate. Is it a friend or a foe to your kidneys? The key is to understand that coffee isn't one thing. It's a complex mix of 2 key players. On one hand, you have the heroes, powerful antioxidants like chlorogenic acid and melanoidins. Meta-analyses confirm these compounds fight the inflammation that threatens long-term kidney health. On the other hand, there's the wild card, caffeine. How your body reacts to caffeine is personal, determined by your genetics. So when you weigh the protective compounds against the genetic variable, what's the net result for most people? The final verdict comes from a massive 2021 meta-analysis of over 500,000 individuals. This study pulled data from 12 separate research studies and found that coffee drinkers had a 14% lower risk of developing CKD, with those drinking 2 or more cups daily showing even greater protection than lighter drinkers. The same analysis found that coffee consumption was linked to an 18% lower risk of end-stage kidney disease, the most severe form requiring dialysis or transplant. Coffee drinkers also showed a 19% lower risk of proteinuria and a 28% lower risk of death related to kidney disease. These findings weren't isolated. A separate 2020 study confirmed similar protection, showing approximately 13% lower CKD risk among coffee drinkers. And if you're concerned about kidney stones, a 2022 analysis of nearly 800,000 people delivered more good news. Those with the highest caffeine intake had a 32% lower risk of developing kidney stones. The conclusion: coffee drinkers had a 14% lower risk of CKD and an 18% lower risk of end-stage kidney disease. This proves that on balance, coffee is a hero in the fight against proteinuria. At the cellular level, caffeine works by blocking adenosine, A1 receptors in the kidney's blood vessels, causing them to dilate and increase blood flow and filtration rate. However, coffee's impact isn't uniform across all people. Genetic variants in the CYP1A2 gene determine how quickly you metabolize caffeine. Slow metabolizers retain caffeine longer and may face higher risks from excessive consumption. So how do you get the good without the bad? The strategy is simple. First, drink it black. Creamers and sugar don't just add calories, they add a heavy mineral load that can cancel out the benefits. Second, time your last cup before 2 p.m. Late-day caffeine can disrupt sleep, which indirectly harms kidney health. Third, use paper filters instead of metal ones. They remove compounds that can raise cholesterol and stress your cardiovascular system. Fourth, listen to your body. If coffee makes you feel anxious or jittery, you may be a slow metabolizer. For you, less is more. We've exposed the 4 common culprits that can silently strain your kidneys and trigger proteinuria, and we've introduced 3 effective science-backed heroes to take their place. The ultimate lesson isn't just this list, it's the realization that you are in control. The choice of what you pour into your glass each day isn't a small detail. It's one of the most decisive actions you can take for your kidney health and proteinuria prevention. But before making any significant changes to your daily routine, especially if you have existing health conditions or take medications, consult with your healthcare provider. Your kidneys are unique, and what works for one person may not be ideal for another based on your medical history, current kidney function, and individual risk factors. Remember, these choices work best as part of a broader healthy lifestyle. Stay consistently hydrated throughout the day. Maintain a balanced diet rich in whole foods. Exercise regularly and manage stress effectively. No single beverage is a magic bullet. Kidney health is built through consistent, smart daily choices. Now we want to turn the conversation over to you. Based on everything we've shared today, what is the one change you are considering making in your daily routine? Let the community know in the comments below. Your journey can inspire others. We want to thank you for being here, for listening, for having the courage to embark on this journey of discovering what truly benefits your health. A journey that isn't easy, but is worth more than anything else. Hit the bell icon and turn on all notifications so you never miss a life-saving video. The sooner you spot kidney issues, the more you can do to keep things under control. If you're unsure about your kidney health and haven't been in good shape recently, check out the video on the screen here. We cover all the possible symptoms, helping you spot kidney failure and act effectively if needed. See you there. Stay informed, stay healthy.